A hidden world. A landmass lost to time, almost completely submerged beneath the ocean's surface. A continent, yes, a real continent, that most of humanity never even knew existed. It's called Zealandia. And for millions of years, it's been hiding in plain sight. When you think of continents, you probably think of the usual seven: Africa, Asia, Europe, North and South America, Antarctica, and Australia. But what if I told you that there's actually an eighth one? Not a myth. Not Atlantis. A real continent, recognized by geologists, mapped by satellites, and studied by scientists from around the world. Zealandia, sometimes called Te Reo Maui, its Maori name, is almost entirely underwater. 94% of it lies beneath the Pacific Ocean. Only a few fragments break the surface, the most famous being New Zealand and New Caledonia. For centuries, sailors sailed over it, explorers ignored it, and maps left it blank. But beneath those waves, an ancient world was waiting to be rediscovered. The story of Zealandia begins not with a myth, but with curiosity. In the late 19th century, geologists noticed something strange about New Zealand. The rocks and minerals there didn't quite match what you'd expect from a small island nation. They were the kind of rocks you find deep inside continental crust, thick, ancient, and complex. By the 1960s and 70s, as plate tectonic theory took shape, scientists began to wonder, could New Zealand be the tip of a much larger sunken continent? Still, no one could prove it. Not until satellites, seismic imaging, and deep ocean mapping allowed us to peer beneath the waves. And when they did, what they found was astonishing. A vast, continuous block of continental crust, stretching more than 4.9 million square kilometers, about 2/3 the size of Australia. It was thin, it was sunken, but it was there. But wait, what exactly makes something a continent? Geologists look for four main features. It's made of continental crust, lighter, thicker, and older than oceanic crust. It has well-defined geological boundaries. It's large enough to be considered a coherent region. And it sits higher than the surrounding oceanic crust, even if submerged. By those standards, Zealandia ticks every box. In 2017, after decades of research, a team of 11 geologists officially declared Zealandia Earth's eighth continent. Their findings were published in the Geological Society of America journal, and the world suddenly realized, we'd been missing an entire continent. To understand Zealandia's story, we have to travel back, way back, over 85 million years. Back then, Zealandia was part of a colossal supercontinent called Gondwana, which also included what we now know as Antarctica, Australia, Africa, and South America. But tectonic forces were slowly tearing Gondwana apart. When Zealandia finally broke free from Australia around 85 million years ago, it floated away like a giant raft. At first, it remained above sea level, a lush, green continent teeming with life. But over the next tens of millions of years, something happened. The Earth's crust thinned. The continent stretched, cracked, and slowly began to sink. By about 23 million years ago, most of Zealandia had slipped beneath the waves, leaving only the highest mountain ridges and plateaus above water. Those ridges? They're what we now call New Zealand. So what was Zealandia like before it sank? Paleontologists believe it was covered in forests, rivers, and wildlife, a paradise similar to prehistoric Australia. Fossils found in New Zealand hint at what once roamed across the continent: ancient crocodiles, flightless birds, and strange mammals that have long gone extinct. Even today, New Zealand's unique plants and animals, like the kiwi bird and the tuatara, carry genetic echoes of that lost world. It's as if Zealandia's few surviving islands are windows into the ancient past, preserving life forms that vanished elsewhere millions of years ago. For most of human history, Zealandia's existence was hidden beneath kilometers of ocean. But now, we're beginning to explore it. In 2017, scientists aboard the Geological Resolution, a massive drilling ship, extracted rock cores from the ocean floor around Zealandia. They discovered layers of sandstone, mudstone, and volcanic ash, proof that the region had once been dry land. Even more surprising, they found microfossils, the remains of plants and organisms that could only have lived in shallow, sunlit environments. In other words, this was once a living continent. And as research continues, more secrets are emerging. Seismic surveys show mountain ranges, plateaus, and even fault lines that mirror those found on larger continents. Zealandia isn't just a chunk of crust, it's a fully formed geological world. You might wonder, why does it matter if there's a hidden continent under the ocean? Well, Zealandia is more than a geological curiosity. It helps us understand how continents form, break apart, and sink. It gives us clues about plate tectonics, climate change, and even the movement of species across the ancient Earth. And it challenges our idea of what a continent even is. If something can be 94% underwater and still be a continent, how many other lost worlds might be waiting beneath the ocean? Today, Zealandia lies along one of Earth's most dynamic regions, the Pacific Ring of Fire. Its crust is fractured by countless fault lines. New Zealand itself is perched right where the Pacific Plate meets the Australian Plate, a collision that creates earthquakes, volcanoes, and dramatic landscapes. The same forces that once sank Zealandia are still at work today. Mountains rise, valleys shift, and parts of the continent continue to move northward each year. In a sense, Zealandia isn't just lost, it's alive. Still changing. Still evolving. Whenever people hear a lost continent beneath the sea, one name always comes up, Atlantis. But while Atlantis remains a legend from ancient Greek philosophy, Zealandia is real, measured, mapped, and confirmed by science. Yet it's easy to see why the comparison captures our imagination. Both stories speak to something deep within us, the idea that the world still holds mysteries, that entire civilizations or continents could vanish beneath the waves. Zealandia proves that the Earth is far more dynamic, far more unpredictable, than we often realize. Mapping Zealandia wasn't easy. For decades, scientists used sonar, satellite gravity data, and seismic reflections to piece together its shape. Imagine trying to draw a map of a land you can't see, a land hidden beneath 1 to 3 kilometers of water. But slowly, the image came into focus. By the 2010s, the map revealed mountain chains, basins, and ridges stretching from New Zealand northward toward New Caledonia, all part of a single, unified block of continental crust. Today, interactive 3D maps of Zealandia allow anyone to explore this submerged world online. For the first time in human history, we can see an entire continent that has been underwater for over 20 million years. So what's next for the lost continent? Scientists continue to study its rocks to uncover how it formed, how fast it sank, and what it reveals about our planet's deep past. There's even growing interest in its mineral and energy resources, though its remote location and environmental sensitivity make exploration complex. But perhaps the most exciting part is what Zealandia teaches us, that even in the age of satellites and Google Earth, there are still entire worlds we've only just discovered. Deep beneath the Pacific, the lost continent of Zealandia sleeps. Its mountains rest under the pressure of endless water, its valleys echo with the silence of deep time. It reminds us that Earth's story is still unfolding, that continents can rise and fall, that the boundaries we draw on maps are never final. We live on a planet of hidden giants. And Zealandia is proof that even now, in the 21st century, we're still uncovering the forgotten corners of our world.